Alright, welcome back to the league race, this time with FTRL for round number one of the third season, F1 2020, here at the Vietnam fucking Grand Prix. Alright, fucking erg. Right. This track is not fun. Not fun in the slightest. For many different reasons. I'm going to talk about them because like many, do not find this track particularly fun to drive. And I'm happy. I'm very happy to explain why. Very, very happy. But here's a setup, first and foremost, just to lay things out there. And, you can make of it what you will. It is a variation of a setup that Sway gave me.
411,
so thank you very much, Swaylicious. I appreciate that. And let's get into why this track is shit, right? So the last corners, we can talk about that later. But the braking reference for this corner is all wrong. I try to use the board on the right-hand side to actually slow down in time to actually make the corner, which I fail at completely, so there's time away right there. You feel you can never quite get fully on the throttle here because with the orientation of the corner and the way it goes away and the deepness of it, you feel like you're always going to be spinning away. You try and cut the beam as you head back across that chicane. Do their first DRS straight. Back end loves to get away from you there. These curves down here in the roundabout section are terrible. I did not blow them up as much as I should have, though, particularly on the entry. This corner is like a worse France. Corner on France, you can never feel, again, same as the first sector there, you can never feel you can get the power on. And if you have a bad exit on this corner, you are losing time all the way down this enormous, ginormous straight, of which DRS is now activated there, halfway down.
I'm not making it.
You have to try and slow down time for this China wannabe corner. This corner is very similar to the same one at the end of the Big Long Straight and the Shanghai circuit, otherwise known as the Chinese Grand Prix. Then the best part of the track comes, Sector 3. I don't like the curbs on that particular turn there, but this is a terrible Sector 3, by the way, in terms of my actual lap. But it does remind me of Kota, at least, the swingy nature of it. It's like Japan and Kota. I'm having a horrible time going through the lines. You can see what time I'm losing. But I do enjoy it better than the rest of the track. And these last two corners, although, are terrible. That last corner is worse than the second last corner of the USA by a mile. And that last corner isn't great either. You can slam into a wall. Despite all that, though, I did a PB of a 33.9 at the end there. And there is time for more in that. So just behind my teammate Tom. Oh, yeah. By the way, yeah. I'm in the Renault once again. By choice. I chose to be in the Renault. Again, because I love it so much compared to the Haas and Alfa Romeo. And got to team up with Tom. So that's very handy. Nice. I like it. I'm looking forward to that. New helmet, of course, on display too. I spent ages trying to work away at it to make it better. Then it had to be improvement on last year's helmet. And last year's helmet was strong. So last season's helmet, rather, was strong. So I needed it to be good. And I think I pulled it up quite nicely. Medium tyres, yeah. No, I'm not going to overthink that. So, here we go. P14 on the grid, 5 red lights, and away we go. I actually got a decent start here, but I should have... apparently Len got a much better one, and Yanne is there too, so didn't actually make contact there, I think, with Len, and thankfully I didn't end up losing any wings, but dangerous for sure. But just trying to hang on the outside here. Got caught the wrong part of the track, really. Jan sticks his nose down the inside. I didn't get quite the bite into that corner I wanted to, but Jan comes off of I almost got squeezed there. If the track hadn't opened out, I wonder if I would have got pinched against that wall. But I'm on the outside here against Yanne. I'm going to go early on the brakes just to make account for everyone in front. Bit of contact there. My front of my car catches the rear of Chubbs's.
Oh God, Wesker, why are you...
Very slow moving stuff here through the roundabout section, but bit of a jerk on the back end there, so we're trying to get through here, but it's P16, so I've lost places coming at the start. It shouldn't be too much of a surprise. Just you gotta get your lines right here, and just the start sometimes can just be like that. So big crash down to the into the hairpin here. I think it was Scuba and Kevin, so I'm not sure what happened there. But that's two positions anyway, so we're still in 14th, so that's where we'll finish the first lap anyways. Moving on to lap number 6. Chubbs was really struggling on those hards. He started P11 on the hards, which wouldn't be my first option to do so, but I was sizing him up. I'm pretty certain he had damage. I was about to size him up. I felt like this was a lap I was going to pull the trigger on it because he was really struggling. I got
want to say
saw
yeah,
the
but I
delta
don't want
very
to,
late
so-
there, and I almost I just lost track of it, and I almost sped. I had to come to a
I'm going
complete
mediums.
stop.
I'm doing some
Thankfully, there was
mediums.
no cars behind me,
I
but
need
anyways,
help,
we'll
but
come
don't
into the
worry,
pits.
I don't want to get jumped by Wesker here.
I was debating where to put on. There's mediums or just go hards to the
fuck it.
end. I'm definitely trying to get a
Yeah,
reference to what other people are doing because hards they could go to the end, but they're so bad. Ultimately, I decided to go for the hards to go to the end, and the hope another safety car maybe would come out. But honestly, I thought it might be the best way to go, but we'll see how that pans out later on. Some people on mediums, we're at the back basically, so we can just kind of go from there. I do risk being dropped, of course, by those on mediums in front. Scuba pitted after his incident there on the mediums. He did not come into the pits, so he got a little bit of track position there. But away we go. Lap number 9 to the end of the race on these hards. They were okay. They're slow. Their problems will really pick up more so later than at the beginning, but there's nothing really to mention about this restart. It's standard stuff. My pace here is not great. Lap 12, Yanne in front on the hard. I think he might have damage, but he actually have a lot more problems than that as he goes round in that section of the track. Thankfully he ghosted, so even if I hadn't avoided them, I would have been okay. But that's one position gained there, and Yanne out of he's going to retire out of this race in the pits. So that's one position, and one by one, kind of things kind of materialize in front. Some people came to the pits. Chubb's there pitching from his hards, I believe. So that's a one position there. Heading on then to lap number, is it 16? 15 rather. I actually noticed this at the time. I saw a piece of wing on the left hand side there. I was like, oh, that's someone's wing. I was almost certain it was Scuba's. I'm not sure if that's correct or not, but I thought it was his. And he's losing time there. And lo and behold, he and my teammate Tom are into the pits to ditch their medium. So I suspect maybe Scuba decided to change his wing as well. I'm not 100% sure about that. But some more positions gained there. So we're in a kind of the high 39s, kind of low 40s kind of range. That's where these hards are really at for me. It's just really hard to, they just lack all sort of turning in there. We put the front wing up to 6 for this entire race. Yeah. I was going to chop it down to 5 when it came in time to do my softs later on, but never ended up happening. But the gap they are going to be behind me by is about 15 to 16 seconds. That is, Tom at least is 15.8 seconds behind, and Chubb's just behind that, and then Scuba just behind that. So lap 22, Sway is pitching in front, and he's put on the softs. He's going to out traction me here, and that's fine. You see the gap. Scuba pitted for softs, and Tom behind. They're now 2 and 3 seconds behind, or 2 and 5 seconds behind, respectively. I knew that. I'd say within the first 4 laps, I knew they were even though there was like 12 seconds behind me. I knew they were going to get me. These hards, come the end of the stint, are awful. They really are, and that's a 30. Was that 35 or 36? Regardless, it's over 3 seconds a lap quicker. So. Perhaps in hindsight, with a 2 to 3 second advantage per lap, maybe I would have been better off going for another stop, putting mediums at the safety car, and then going for another stop onto softs. I think maybe that would have been the better way to go. Ultimately, look, I don't have the pace to pull off a 2-stop like that, like to recover places like Scuba and Tom here. So, you could look at it either way, but honestly, just... my main focus heading into this one was just to stay out of the barrier and kind of let the chips fall where they may. I thought maybe I'd fight this at first, but I decided, nah, that's not a real point. So we're nice and early on the brakes, let him go. No point fighting that, really none. So yeah, very quiet seconds into the race, but honestly these tires were dead at the end. I think of over 60%, 65%. So anyways, I have very little thoughts on that race. Pull off the left hand side and kabooey. Yeet. Can yeet it out of there.
Car's about to quit.
Yeah, I have P9 I'll happily take from P14. I hate this track. Like, it is such a bad track. It's not enjoyable for me. If you enjoy it, fair play, but not my particular cup of tea, and I am more than happy to take a P9 and get out of here. I have zero opinions on that race. Absolutely no thoughts. After the race, I have zero thoughts on that race. I've none. It happened. I got a P9, and season starts next week in Austria. So that's it. That is literally it. So yeah, that's your next track. And thankful this one's out of the way because, again, I have zero thoughts on that race. It happened and it's over. Bye.